welcome to Guilt-Free Mind. I am Dr. Shruti and the topic that we are going to discuss today is the third part in the productivity video series. It is about the 80-20 rule of productivity. Now, if you haven't seen the other two videos, the link will be there in the description section. Please check them out. The blog link of Guilt-Free Mind is also there in the description section, so have a look at it as well. You might find many other productivity tools and mental health related topics in the blog which can be very beneficial to you. If you haven't subscribed yet, well, now is the time. Go ahead, do it, and let's get on with the video. So I have divided the primary factors of productivity into smaller chunks that I will be covering up in these separate videos. So I'm hoping to keep this video short. Don't want to bore you too much. So here is the 80-20 rule of productivity. Now, as per the 80-20 rule, you do 20% of the tasks that yield you 80% of the results. Okay, but still confusing, right? So, if you are doing a project, as per the 80-20 rule, you will be focusing on the task of the project that will give you the maximum yield first. I'm not saying you don't have to cover the whole project. Cover it, well and good. But you focus on those tasks first that will yield you the maximum results, like that will give you the maximum points or marks or whichever way. So you do the tasks of high yield first. You keep them in high priority. You get them tackled up and out of the way first, and then you get to with the rest. So even if you don't actually get to the rest, 80% of your work is already done. Now, there's another thing about the 80-20 rule that you need to know. It can also be customized. Now, you can either be using 70-30 rule or 90-10 rule, as in doing 10% of the work which yields 90% of your results, or doing 30% of the work which yields 70% of your results. The point is you work in the smart manner, not the hard manner. Hard work is always appreciated, but if you involve smartness with hard work, you can break the game of productivity and achieve your goals. So, let's take an example. How does this rule actually work? We don't only live in our work life or our school life or our student life, right? We have a life besides that as well, which is our family life. Now, we want to be productive in our work and we want to be present there for our family. So this rule can be an immense help. It's not a magic formula, but if you tweak it a bit and set it up for success, well, your success is guaranteed then. So, if you are studying, suppose you are in a university or college and you have a course to cover up before the exams. Now, how will you apply 80-20 rule to that? First, you go through your course material, you highlight the important sections and the sections which contain the maximum weightage of marks. If you are preparing for an entrance exam, you will have the course curriculum with you. If you are preparing for an office presentation, you know which are the key points in your presentation. You focus on those first. Hammer them down to the nail. So how can you quickly and get caught up with all of that so that you can relax later? For this, you should use the active learning method. Now, active learning can come in a variety of forms. You can either take notes, you can either summarize the information in your own words, go through it, read it, take your time, walk over a little, walk out for 10 minutes, come back and write down what you remember. This way, when it gets stored in your head, it gets retained for a longer period. If you like making notes, I'm not saying just copy down, you're looking at your laptop and you're copying notes. No, not that. What I am saying is you read through the notes, you take a break, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, depending on your comfort level, come back and then write down basically a form of active recall as to what you remember from what you studied. This is what's active recall and active learning. Similarly, you can either summarize the information in your own words or you can teach any inanimate object like the laptop here, anything, what you have learned in a way that the teacher explains things to her or his students. This way, you will know how much of the concept have you really grasped, what part you haven't grasped, and where you need more work. Then you can hit up those goal areas again, and you can cover up on your missing places. So how does this work? Let me remind you again. You go through your syllabus, you pick up the largest, most valuable chunks from there. If you are a student, you can go by the marks distribution. The sections of your syllabus which have the highest marks should be on the high priority list. Next, you start studying using the active learning method. You read, go away, come back, write down, actively recall it in your head, or you think of yourself as a teacher and explain it to someone or an object. This is how active learning works. Next, there are some other techniques as well that you can use to boost your productivity while using the 80-20 rule. Some of these tips would be spaced across all of the videos that I will be talking about productivity in. Some of these may not repeat themselves. So the one of this is, which I have talked about before, is dividing your stuff into small bite-sized chunks. Suppose you've got 10 pages to read. 8 stuff, I get it, life is tough, but you have to still do it, right? You don't really have an option there. So why don't you divide those 10 pages into 2 pages sections? Now 2 pages, if you tell yourself, okay, I just have to study 2 pages today. Now that's not a lot, right? Compared to if you tell yourself, okay, I have to cover up all 10 pages today. So you tell yourself you will only study 2 pages, you only study 2 pages, but you study them well. And you take 5 days to cover up those 10 pages instead of tackling all the 10 pages in one day. Now, why should you do this? Why should you divide it into sections and then study if you can do it all at once? The problem with all at once is that you're cramming too much information into your head. Your head is not getting the time it needs to relax and process it, and you are not indulging in any form of active recall. On the other hand, when you indulge in 2-page sections, what do you do? What you do is that you study 2 pages today. Tomorrow, when you come back to study, you first recall the 2 pages that you studied yesterday. Then you move on to the other 2 pages. Third day, when you come back, you recall the 4 pages that you have already learned and then start with the 5th and the 6th page. Are you getting my point? Are you getting the flow? So basically, you are not encountering all 10 pages in one day. You are encountering 2 pages, but there is more involvement of active recall. This way, by the time you have reached your 10th page, at least your 6 pages that you have studied before are completely inside your head. This way, it's even harder to forget the information. So try this out and let me know in the comment section how it worked for you. How did you divide the chunks? If it didn't work for you, let me know that as well. I will try to look up other tips that can help. Now, there is one more method that I want to talk about. That is Pomodoro technique. If you have been on a Twitch on my channel, you know I work by Pomodoro. So I have 60-minute time slots when all of my study buddies are working. So for those who don't know my channel, I actually do co-working streams on Twitch. So it's a live streaming platform. So my co-working streams are live. I'm working here, you are working there, and we work for 60 minutes. Then we have a 10 minutes break during which we chat. Sometimes we play games, but we mostly chat about things, crack jokes, make each other feel fresh, boost each other up if that's what's needed, and then we get back to studying. So 60 minutes time frame when we study, and then we have a 10 minutes break. Now, originally the Pomodoro technique was designed to have 25 minutes of study period and 5 minutes of break. Then again you study for 25 minutes, then you take a 5 minutes break. Now every 4th break, so once you have completed 4 sections of 25 minutes of study, then you get a longer break. You get a 10 minutes break. You can either follow this method or you can follow the method that I am currently using, which is a 60-10 method, and every 3rd break, you get a longer break. Instead of 10 minutes, the break is a 15 minutes. So you can either play a small game, read a comic, read a book, or, indulge in it however you want. Or you can even go make coffee in those 15 minutes. So this is how Pomodoro technique works. Give it a try. It has been proven to boost your productivity by immense levels. Because sometimes we don't realize that we need break, but our brain does need break. So give it a try and let me know in the comments how it worked out for you. Now there are a few additional strategies that you can also apply to make your 80-20 technique a bigger success. First, set clear goals. Your goals must be very clear in your mind. Why are you doing what you're doing? What is it you want to achieve? When you have clear goals, you know which parts you have to tackle first, which parts can be tackled later. This brings me to the second point, which is have priority list. Which task is on high priority? Which one is on low priority? Which one is on medium priority? Do the high priority tasks first and others can follow later. Next, use different different study methods. Now, you can either use flashcards, or you can use quizzes, or you can ask your friend to ask you questions from what you have studied. Basically, these are all different methods of active recall, and these have shown to help. Next, get feedback. For this, you can ask your professors. These are where tests come in. Even though we don't like giving tests, it's a way to ensure that what we have learned has really settled well in here. You can use online examinations, you can ask your professors for feedback, or, you can test yourself. Next is, and the final point is the most crucial of all, be consistent. When it comes to studying, it's not like, you can study 3 days a week and get amazing results. You have to put in the effort every single day. You have to study all 7 days a week if you want good results. So get on that horse of studying. It's okay if you cannot study for long hours. My stream usually lasts for around 8 hours. I get it, not everyone can study that much. Start with 2 hours. If you can go to 2 hours for a month, then go to 2.5 hours for a week. Then you increase it to 3 hours for another week. This is how you boost your study time. Depending on how fast you can adapt to it, then you can add in more and more time slot to it, increase the time. But remember to take breaks. It's very important, not only for you but for your brain as well. Well, with this, we have finished with the 80-20 rule that I wanted to talk about in this video. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed watching this. Let me know your insights on this video and how would you use the 80-20 method. Which methods would you use? If you think I haven't covered anything, put it down in the comment section, please. I request you. And if you want a specific video on something that you are struggling with, let me know that as well. I will do my research and I will put it out for you. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye. Take care.